This is the Get Geek soundtrack. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Excellent. Rock on.
Party on. This is soundtrack
Party
number
on.
2. Soundtrack number
Yeah.
2 by Wolfie.
Inside confirmation. Sports coaches, bless you always. Inside athlete of the decade, commemorating surprise picks.
Alrighty then.
That is probably the most interesting soundtrack from AJ.
I don't have a lot of material to go on with here.
Yeah.
I just have like literally 3 frames of words. That's it.
All right, well, let's do it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Get Geek podcast, where we celebrate geek, nerd, and pop culture. Each week, we deliver the best analysis for fans, by fans, on anything related to movies, TV, video games, comics, anime, and manga. We talk geek. And now, here's the Get Geek podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Get Geek podcast. We are here today. I am Walt, and I am joined by we're missing 2 of our crew this week. Both Jose and Eli aren't going to be with us, but we still have our other 2 solid Get Geekers, Wolfie and AJ. Guys, say hi.
Goodbye.
Hello.
Hello. So, son of a gun. You know, I'm sorry. I know we said we wanted to talk about this, but it pains me.
They already scored?
They scored a touchdown. We're recording. So you have a frame of reference. We are recording Saturday night at 8:24, and I have the Green Bay San Francisco game in the background. Aaron Rodgers has just thrown a touchdown. Well, did he throw a touchdown?
No, yeah.
It was a rushing touchdown. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
But still, it annoys me because I am literally probably maybe the only. Well, no, I wouldn't say that, but I do not like Aaron Rodgers one bit. So,
well, I mean, if you wanna, maybe on tomorrow, I guess you can go ahead and vent on the Arena podcast.
I'm hoping so. So we do another podcast, fellas. If you didn't know, now you know. We do another podcast, a sports related podcast. It's kind of specific to New York, but we talk about everything, right? And it's called the Arena Podcast. So, guys, if you guys are a fan of sports, you definitely need to check it out. Especially because I am hoping, beyond hope, that San Francisco, and I told you this before, I am hoping that Garoppolo throws 450 yards, 420 yards, that's what I said, and 4 touchdowns, and the Niners destroy the Green Bay Packers. Now, that's my wishful thinking. I know it's not going to happen. But, you know, if it does, guys, you need to check out the Arena because I am going to be one happy podcaster. So I'm just going to say that.
Well,
anyway,
on that note,
yes, please, let's move on because we've got stuff to geek out about, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is our Geek Out. This is another Geek Out episode brought to you by the 3 amigos here at the Get Geek podcast. It's been a while since we've like geeked out. No, we've kind of covered some pretty interesting topics recently. Thank you all for like listening to those episodes. But I think it's time that we have a little bit of fun with the stuff that we are all geeking out of. Now, I have an interesting geek out. One is going to be a fun one. One is probably going to give me some reactions from the casters that have joined me today. But I want to hand it off to AJ first to start it off. AJ, what have you been geeking out over?
So there's one very peculiar piece of news that I've heard this past week. Legendary has announced that in association with Apple TV Plus, there will be not a King Kong, but a Godzilla series.
Oh my god! It's gonna be a whole MonsterVerse thing, okay? Let's not kid ourselves. It's not gonna be just a Godzilla series. They're starting it off with
I don't know.
Godzilla.
They
They're
just
gonna
said Godzilla
they're
series.
gonna listen.
That
They're gonna
tells me Godzilla.
they're gonna start it off with Godzilla, but then watch. Don't be surprised if they announce a King Kong series too.
There is just so much hope on that side of the camp.
What do you mean?
It's
There's so much
inspiring.
hope. Oh my goodness. Don't act as if it's not settled. It's not settled. All right.
It's
We
been
still have
settled.
it has not been
It has
settled.
been settled.
I heard a rumor that Legendary, the reason why they're going to Apple TV Plus is because they are going to bring Godzilla back to the small screen, and there's supposed to be a cameo set for Kong where Godzilla gets to murder Kong.
Oh, come on. Where did you hear this? Oh my goodness. You guys are terrible.
A trusted source.
I don't know. I heard my sources tell me that the reason they're on Apple Plus is because they're afraid that Microsoft is going to buy Netflix and everything else up. Like they have been. So,
well, and honestly, to be very serious here, the real reason that Apple TV Plus got the MonsterVerse,
It's going to be high end.
Well, yeah, but they overpaid everybody. I'm sorry, they outbid everybody.
Yeah, well, Apple's still trying to get some market share from everything else. I don't know
exactly
if they're really making inroads, because I certainly cannot afford anything more than Netflix and Hulu and Disney Plus.
Shows on there.
I understand that, but it's basically cable TV already.
Yeah, I know.
I've got Hulu, I've got ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, Netflix, Crunchyroll. I'm probably paying more now in viewing services than I ever was with cable.
Yeah, remember where it used to be just
and Funimation
and Netflix? It used to be just cable and Netflix.
Yeah,
that was it. And then all of a sudden, slowly things and forget. I'm even worse than you because I have Netflix, I have Hulu, I have Disney Plus, I have ESPN, I have what is it?
YouTube
TV. I have Paramount Plus,
HBO Max.
Oh yeah, I got HBO Max. I got Peacock.
Peacock Plus, yes. There's what's the other one? Okay, and that's just TV, and then I'm also subscribing to Marvel Comics, Marvel Unlimited, and stuff.
Oh my goodness, you just reminded me of stuff I need to cancel.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's getting to the point where it's like, I'm dropping like $300-400 a month just on subscriptions.
Oh my goodness!
Here.
Listen, I know that we're supposed to be geeking out, but just a quick point on that. Isn't it kind of interesting that back then, and maybe they still are actually, but cable companies were trying to entice you back when it was only Netflix. Cable companies would entice you like, hey, like sign a 2-year agreement with us, and we'll give you Netflix for free. It's almost like inviting the snake into your house. As far as the cable companies go,
Well, the reason why I cut the cord literally is because I used to have what did we have? We had DirecTV, right?
We had DirecTV. No, TiVo we didn't have. That was
we've had Spectrum, we've had Dish, we've had DirecTV.
Right. There we go.
And DirecTV lost me as a customer because I subscribed to them the everything pack. And then they came back to me and said, you know what, we're going to raise your prices, but we're going to take stuff from the everything pack so that you can resubscribe to pay us even more money.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, what? I've been with you guys for like 7-8 years. Peace out, people, because I'm going to YouTube TV. Now, at the time, YouTube TV was $39.99. Now it's up to like $79.99. And that's been in the span of 2 or 3 years. Right?
Wow.
So they've really gone crazy up. But we've hijacked AJ's Geek Out because he was talking about the big green fella. And I'm not talking about the Hulk. I'm talking about the G-Man, the murderer of apes.
Oh my goodness, are you kidding me now? Are you kidding me?
Please continue.
Last I checked, he walked off on his own 2 feet, okay? After
AJ?
staring down Godzilla.
He did.
AJ?
All right? They both did.
They at
They
least
both did.
found,
AJ?
in the end, they at least found a mutual respect for each other.
Listen.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you would respect me too if I came to your rescue.
AJ, tell everybody how Godzilla is going to catch a case. Come on. Let us know how this works.
Go on. I'm going to stop stepping on your geek out over there.
Clink, clink, clink.
Oh, my God.
Godzilla.
Yeah, I'm just really excited that they're going to, like, all the comments that I saw on Twitter, because Legendary did do a post about this, is like, yay, they're continuing the Monsterverse. Yeah.
Yeah, like how many Twitter accounts?
Oh God!
Oh my God! See, that's how excited he is.
Oh my God!
How many
did you have a case of atomic breath there?
There you go. Like, how many Godzilla accounts do you follow on Twitter? Like a bunch of them, right?
A few. One is a crap posting meme page. One follows the figures and when they come out.
Ooh, that's nice.
Another one. Oh, I'm starting to blank out now. This is a very bad time to be blanking out. I follow multiple, and they each cover different sections of the whole Godzilla, everything about Godzilla.
So, can I ask you a question? Is it like the reverse of what Obi-Wan Kenobi said when Alderaan was destroyed? It was like a million voices that were shut down. Was it the reverse where it was like all of a sudden there was a million voices that cried out, yes?
Basically, yeah.
Right.
A collective Godzilla yelp.
There you go.
Yes, and a collective King Kong whimper.
Oh my goodness, Jesus! Please, Jesus, come down here and save me from this ridiculousness that's going on. I'm telling you right now, I can put money on it that there's going to be a King Kong series also. I promise you that. They'd be stupid not to.
That'd be cool.
It'll be on CW.
Cool. Oh. No.
You know what? I'm gonna leave this cast. I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna walk out. You guys
I don't even want that for Kong. That's terrible.
You can go ahead and direct this on your own. It's all good. I don't need to be here for this farce.
God.
It's a farce.
CW is owned by Warner Brothers.
I don't care.
Aren't they trying to sell CW?
That's true.
They already took all the DC properties off it or something like that, though, right?
No, I think.
I don't know.
Still got Superman.
Well, they're like winding down or something like that.
Superman and Lois is still going on strong.
Okay, well, there's that, but the other stuff, I'm seeing increasingly less and less DC properties there.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Legends of Tomorrow is still on, which is amazing.
I gotta get back on
that. That is an amazing show, by the way. So, all right.
Yeah. What else are you geeking out over now that we're done with the whole Godzilla fanboy speculation?
Kong stuff.
That wasn't me this time.
I'm sorry.
Walt,
I'm sorry.
It's his geek out, not yours.
I'm sorry. We're moving on.
But yeah, basically, I'm excited to see where they take the MonsterVerse with this new Godzilla series on Apple TV Plus, which is the best. The only other thing I've really done, I finally, for the first time ever, beat Halo 3 on Legendary.
Really? Oh, on Legendary. Oh,
my man!
Did you ever see the extended cutscene?
Yep, I did.
But you saw it now, or did you see it on YouTube before at all? Did you ever?
I probably saw it on YouTube before, but this is the first time I've seen it organically.
Yeah, I stayed away from YouTube. I mean, thankfully back then Instagram wasn't, really a thing, or spoilers like that wasn't a thing. Everything was on YouTube, and I resisted the urge to see the extended ending. And I couldn't do it by myself. I had to do it with my boy John, who, congratulations on leveling up again. The man has continued to level up. You if you follow the podcast long enough, he's a friend of the podcast. He has his own podcast called the Out of Play Area Podcast, where he talks to other people in the games industry about their viewpoints on a variety of topics that involve video game design and programming the industry as a whole. Before this moment, okay, he was working at EA. He was an electronic artist, and that was the top of the mountain for him. I mean, working at EA is a huge thing. But at the time that this podcast airs, he will have officially begun working for Epic Games.
Ooh,
nice.
So just when you think that like you can't do better, at least in his eyes, he's at EA and there's really not much as far as game industry goes. There's not much higher you can go. He gets recruited, made an offer that he couldn't refuse, and is looking to continue climbing the ladder, not just the ladder, but climbing mountains and reaching the summits. So congratulations to you, John Diaz.
They made
John
him an
R.
offer
Diaz.
he couldn't refuse.
Yeah. Yes, essentially.
Basically.
So
I'm scared.
As long as he doesn't wake up with a horse head in his bed.
No. I don't think that's how he couldn't refuse it. I take you recently. That's right. You guys have recently started watching the Godfather series, the movies, the trilogy.
Well, we only saw number 1.
Oh, okay.
And then we moved on to that. Oh, I cringe just thinking about it. Scarface.
Oh yeah, that's right. We spoke about this.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's besides the point. Halo 3 Legendary, yes, that was amazing. I died so many times.
A legendary amount of times.
Yeah, exactly. But well stated. But the last thing I really have that I really invested a lot of time in, I guess. Well, actually, no, I invested more time in Halo 3. But that's besides the point. I finally, for all the time it's been out,
Which is a shame. Just a shame.
for the first time, I've gone through Star Wars Fallen Order, or Star Wars Jedi.
Really? Did you? You're still playing.
He's still not a true Star Wars video game fan because he hasn't even finished KOTOR.
Yeah, well, the remake's coming, and that's going to be a lot better.
Well, I also have not finished KOTOR.
What?
So I'm not alone.
I played a hefty amount of KOTOR back in the day, but I never actually finished it. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
You said you wanted to get off of this podcast? I'll do you the favor and just shut you out right now. Let me kick you off.
Relax, okay? Relax. You're going to kick your son off too? You're going to kick your son off too? Go ahead. Do this podcast by yourself.
I will. I will. You guys never finished KOTOR? Why, you insane? The ending is KOTOR.
I understand.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I understand.
Excuse me. I think I just threw up a little in my mouth. Hold on. Excuse me. Wow.
Well, again, yes, now that the remake is coming out, I too am waiting for the remake as well.
Oh, you know what? Don't even talk to me. Forget it. AJ, please.
AJ, don't talk to him either. Let's you and I can have this conversation since he's so appalled.
Yeah, so finally got around to Jedi Fallen Order. I by no means 100%ed it because I'm not crazy. I got through the story at least. That's what really counted for me. I thought that was amazing. That was one of the most fulfilling Star Wars stories I consumed in a long time.
Yes, absolutely.
Like just
Fallen Order was so
journey. Good. Yeah, his journey was amazing. To be honest, one of the better Jedi stories. Like,
how did you feel?
Why didn't he just? They came up with Cal Kestis in a game. Why is this not in the movies?
I'm sure he'll pop.
Kathleen Kennedy.
Somewhere.
Yeah, I know. My
Kathleen
God.
Kennedy has nothing to do with the games, thankfully. So, I have a question
I'm sorry,
though.
but I
Like,
cut you
how did
off.
you?
Yeah.
No. I was just wondering. Can you run me through the emotions that you felt when everything goes silent for a moment, and you see a look of fear in the Inquisitor's eyes, and you hear that very, very recognizable, famous breathing apparatus that a certain
Like,
Darth.
see, the sad thing is, I was kind of spoiled on that before I got into
Oh,
the
oh,
game.
oh! God, that
So it
moment was
was
so
like,
good.
it
That
was though, it
moment was
was.
so good.
Like, oh, like, just you're not even fighting him. You're fighting to run away. And you know what? The first time that I actually, like, when the sequence started, I died the first two times because I'm like, well, wait, what are you supposed to do? I'm getting force choked. There's no way out of this.
Yeah, yeah.
And
No,
so I
I loved it myself.
disgracefully
Yeah.
took the first two force chokes I was handed. And I was like, oh, so you're supposed to look right. Oh, I could have gotten out of this.
You know, when we spoke about this previously, when we were reviewing the Fallen Order, at one point we did a review, I think, or maybe it was a Geek Out that included it. I had said that I think that this is the best way to show Darth Vader. I don't want to see a Darth Vader movie. I just want to see him pop up in all these other stories the same way that he did in Rogue One. Just like, it's just for a moment, but it's so if it's done well, the way that they did it in Rogue One, the way that they did it in Fallen Order, it's so impactful. The way that he enters, destroys, and then exits within just a couple of scenes, and then that's all you end up talking about. Like when we saw Rogue One, I know that when I saw Rogue One, the movie was great, but I think all we could talk about really was just that one scene, seeing Darth
Yep.
Vader like just rampage through for like maybe that scene lasted a couple minutes. That's it. Same thing in Fallen Order. I loved everything, the mechanics of Fallen Order, the game, the story, everything about it was beautiful, it was wonderful. But the one thing that's burned in my eyes is and my mind is that scene where Darth Vader first makes his appearance in that game.
Yeah. It's actually funny that you mentioned the gameplay experience. One of the reasons I was actually kind of distancing myself from Fallen Order was because I heard, or at least from what I saw when you were playing it, the parkour looked annoying as hell. But like when you actually get used to it and like actually, pick it up and like, okay, I recognize this. You do this here. It's actually not that bad. It's more of a cakewalk at some point.
Yeah, no, I think it is.
Yeah, so I actually enjoyed that it wasn't as much of a hindrance as I thought it was going to be. Yeah.
So I just want to say one thing, kind of related but unrelated. The whole talk about Vader. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to continue to say this. If Vader ever either gets a show or a movie, it has to be a horror movie where Vader is the guy that's hunting everybody down. Kind of like a Jason, kind of like a Michael Myers.
That'll never happen. That'll never happen. But a suspenseful thriller.
That be awesome?
Yeah, absolutely. But I think a suspenseful thriller would be the way to do it. If you do like an actual Darth Vader movie or show, I think, and actually it should only be a movie. It should really be like super mysterious. It should be psychological, a little bit like of a psychological thriller. Not a horror, but a thriller where like you just, I don't know how to really equate it to other than like, how a suspenseful crime drama might be.
The reason I say like a horror movie, because I always envision you have a group of young Jedis, because remember, Vader at one point was tasked with hunting down the remaining Jedis that were out there, right?
Yeah.
So I always envision this of like a bunch of young Padawans or Jedis, very, very young, and they're stuck either on a planet or whatever, and Vader is kind of lurking, and he's taking them out one by one, but in that kind of a boogeyman's way, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like all of a sudden the focus isn't on Vader. He's kind of like the shadow lurking, and every once in a while he'll off one of them, and then it becomes like almost like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre type of thing. So that's why I stay in the horror vein. But you know what? It is what it is. I don't want a series though, because
I don't think that I want a series either.
We know everything about Vader, well, for the most part, we have
2 trilogies devoted to Vader.
Yeah, exactly. We don't need any more.
Yeah, and
what I would want to see though.
The same of Boba Fett.
Wow, you heard that?
I was just about to say that the one scene that I do wish I could see, in however format that could be, is the moment that Darth Vader finds out that Luke Skywalker, Luke Skywalker. Yeah, exactly. I want to see that come to life.
Yeah, that was a pretty tense scene.
It was a really tense scene. Yeah. The panel. The panel
when
was super
he finds
tense.
out Luke is his son.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Boba Fett that delivers the message, and
it always comes around to Boba Fett. I mean, Jesus.
I'm sorry, it's Star Wars.
Well, it couldn't be helped in this case, to be honest.
Jeez, and this already happened. Jesus, oh my God, how can you hate Boba Fett so much?
I don't. Although I do hate what they're doing to him in this series.
It's like
this new series.
Let's not talk about your hate on it. I wish you could walk away from these comments, but you don't have legs to walk on.
I don't get the reference.
I'm sorry, I confused you for Darth Maul.
I don't get the reference. If anything, he had at one point he had 6 or 8. So yeah, more than enough.
Oh God, when he was
that looks so ridiculous. That was the most ridiculous retcon ever. That is the most ridiculous retcon ever.
But he came back better than ever.
Briefly.
That is how you do a badass, not what they're doing
briefly. With Boba Fett. Oh my God, dude! Don't even go there, okay? Don't even go there. All right.
You can't really say briefly because he has a lot more screen time than Boba. I'm just gonna say that.
What?
If you combine all the minutes of Clone Wars, of
you know what? I want you to do that right now. Do that right now. Somebody, I want you.
Menace and what's that last one?
Don't forget Solo.
And Rogue One. Yeah, Solo. That is more than all of Boba Fett's screen time.
Including the shows? Including the runtime of the shows? I highly doubt that. I highly doubt that.
Boba was only in Clone Wars for 1 episode.
Okay.
Maul was in multiple.
Yeah.
Okay.
Multiple arcs too.
And
he has more screen time.
Let me. So, I did you finish with your Geek Out?
Yes, I am done. I thoroughly enjoyed Fallen Order. I wish we had more content like that.
Isn't there a sequel coming? I think they said that they were looking at making Fallen Order 2.
No, there is.
Yeah. So don't worry, you'll have a chance to revisit that story again. It's coming. It's coming. So before we get on, because I know Gabe is anxiously awaiting his
turn that.
For Geek Outs, but can we just briefly talk about the Book of Boba Fett? Just briefly.
No.
No.
This last episode. No.
I thought you did. Okay.
No. We don't need to talk about Boba Fett right now.
Why?
Because it's my Geek Out and I want to talk about something else.
Okay. So
we'll talk about it anyway.
I will hold my comments and defer to you, my friend. So
look, my Geek Out is over something else that's green and black.
Oh wow! Okay.
All right, guys. So, so check this out. Let me just paint the picture for you guys. I am not fortunate enough to make enough money to buy a PlayStation 5. Okay. However, a little over a year ago, I entered a raffle that one of my students at the dojo was able to, kind of put together for a PS5 and I happened to win the raffle for a PS5, and that's how I got my PS5. And I don't play my PS5 that much. I do dig it, but I'm glad that I was able to get a PlayStation 5 for the total sum of $80 in raffle tickets. Um, and so another student of mine decided to do the same thing just a few months ago. And I said, you know what? Why not? What are the chances that I'm going to win 2 PS5s? Okay. I bought a couple tickets from him. And I completely forgot about the raffle altogether.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I completely forgot about the raffle. This was back in October. My cousin is trying to sell, some Xboxes and PlayStations, and I'm trying to make a deal for one and all that. I'm like, I really want to make a deal for one, but I can't be irresponsible with money right now. It is what it is. I'll get my Series X at some other point. Lo and behold, I get a phone call like, hey, we're doing the raffle today. Okay, at 5 p.m., be ready, Facebook Live. Okay, so now, the way that the raffles work, you buy tickets, and it's basically, 100 boxes, $20 a box. My student was doing a special. It was like you buy 2 boxes, get one free. So I ended up buying 4 boxes for a total of 80. And I ended up getting a total of 6 boxes. Okay. He still had to close up some of the boxes before he can do the raffle. He couldn't do the raffle until all 100 boxes were filled, which is why it took so many months, and I completely forgot about it. So he calls me up and is like, hey, do you want to buy any more boxes? So I bought a couple more boxes, and I got a total of 9 boxes. Still not believing that I had luck in the world to get another PS5. But it turns out that I ended up winning the raffle, and I got myself a second PlayStation 5. This time, it came with a full package, a couple of video games, a charging station for 2 controllers, a red controller as well. 3 games, actually, because I also got Miles Morales. I got Miles Morales, Ghost of Tsushima, and I don't even remember what the third game is. I immediately hit my cousin up and was like, hey, that Xbox Series X, do you want to trade it for PS5? I know that he was trying to sell it, and I have an inkling that the PS5 is easier to sell for whatever reason. I don't know why. Okay, at least up until the news that came out the day after I made the deal. He accepted the trade. I ended up trading a PS5, and I got a Series X, and I'm totally geeking out over my Series X, especially considering that I got a Series X and a PS5 and then some for the total sum of $200.
Jeez.
Oh, wow. Dude, you've got both systems for way less than you would have gotten at retail. That is.
I mean, come on! It's $200 for systems that are going for $800 to $1,000 a piece.
Yeah.
So I definitely lucked out. Some people were suggesting I sell it, and I could probably use the money, but I know that I'm going to eventually buy one anyway. And it's like, man, like, when am I getting, like, if I'm gonna pay $800 for a Series X in the future, why sell it? Why? I don't know. Anyway, I'm totally geeking out over the Series X because it's sitting beautifully on my desk. I think it's a beautiful console, especially compared to the PS5. It is simplistic looking, but it just looks like a small form factor PC tower, and I think it's super elegant. I think this is actually how it should be. I think the PS5 is a little bit too gaudy. I have it straight up.
Okay.
Yeah, I have it straight up, and it's sitting just beside my desktop, which is also completely black. So it just looks like a mini version of my desktop. And I downloaded a few games because I have the Game Pass. That's another subscription that I'm paying for.
It's worthwhile though.
Absolutely, because I was able to get the Forza Horizon 5.
Hey, finally.
And that game is gorgeous.
It is, right?
That game is marvelous. Oh my goodness, that game is so beautiful. I cannot believe that I'm playing a game that it's the game engine is the cutscenes and vice versa with zero load time. I don't think I've ever experienced a video game like that where I'm racing through and it just seamlessly, I jump off of a cliff and it seamlessly turns into a cutscene that then seamlessly turns into gameplay. You know, the environmental effects are insane. I'm pretty proud of my desktop PC because it can, you know, it can do full render and everything, but it doesn't look as beautiful as my Series X.
Wow.
You know, maybe I need to update my PC, maybe not anymore since I got the Series X, but I'm extremely happy to be reunited back into the Xbox fan club.
Forza Horizon is an
go.
amazing game. You know, it really, really is. I love that game. I think at this point I've collected a total of 76 cars so far.
Oh, nice.
So, you know, I've done quite a bit on that game. That's my go-to game right now.
Look, I heard you chiming over there, AJ. I am a fan of video gaming as a whole, but I have had no, and it's sad to say because I own it and I've owned it for over a year, but I have no desire to get any games or do anything on the PS5. The games that I love I got for the PS4. You know, and I just, you know, downloaded them on my PS5 as well, you know, with the exception of Ghost of Tsushima, I think. Ghost of Tsushima, I think I got like the PS5 version because, you know, when it came out, I had it. But Final Fantasy 7 Remake, I bought on the PS4. Spider-Man I had already. Well, no, Spider-Man was for the PS5, but I didn't buy that. I borrowed it and I didn't finish it. I got to give that back, actually. Ghost of Tsushima, you know, there's not many games, you know, because other than Call of Duty, which I play on my desktop, there's not much that calls me to the PS5. I wish there maybe Gran Turismo had come out, or if they were a little bit more on top of the game, I'd totally be on that. But with my Series X, I got Halo, I got Horizon, I have Final Fantasy 15, which I still haven't finished playing, but I'm now able to play, and they look beautiful. Xbox games look beautiful on the Series X. I'm currently playing Metal Gear Solid 2 also, which I was playing on my Xbox One, and the game looks 10 times better on the Series X than it does on the Xbox One. So the upscalability of the graphics on older games is amazing. The backwards compatibility, I'm so happy that I have, which I don't have with Sony. And then the day after I acquired my Series X, the announcement came out that Microsoft bought Activision, and it just adds so much more value to my Series X now. You know, because for the next 5 to 7 years at least, and with my Xbox Game Pass, I know that I'm going to have a guaranteed stable of the top games in the industries, save you for Rockstar, Ubisoft, and obviously the Sony exclusive first-party games.
Right.
So
one day, perhaps very soon,
okay,
you will face the complete annihilation of the PlayStation.
I think so too.
Microsoft will absorb all.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think
and
that's
in doing so, become complete.
I don't think that's ever going to happen because even with this acquisition, they're still only third in revenue, total revenue, behind Sony's number one in video game revenue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then number two, I forgot who number two is.
Is it
not Nintendo? No, not Nintendo. They beat Nintendo. Yeah, they're not. I think it might be. Man, I don't remember what. Because it's not hardware brand. It's video game revenue as a whole. Okay.
So would that be Electronic Arts then? Maybe.
Maybe I got to look it up. I don't remember, but it's I believe it's a production company. Software studio.
So let me ask you this question, and you kind of sort of answered it, but I want complete confirmation because right now I'm still sitting on a PS4 Pro and an Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
AJ has an Xbox One X, right? But I'm kind of on the fence on whether I should get a PS5, whether I should get a Series X, or whether I even need anything right now. Because right now, a lot of the games I can play on the Xbox One, Um, and,
You
and
know,
I wonder. I'm kind of struggling because I do have a way of getting both consoles.
yeah.
I just don't know which one I should throw my hard-earned money towards.
You know, so that was actually my hesitation before. When I got the first PS5, I still have my PS4, and I'm not a huge, PlayStation fan. At least the later consoles, I was huge on PS1 and PS2.
Hmm.
PS3 and PS4, like, just didn't have, the games that I really looked for. Xbox was always more the shooter console.
Yeah, yeah.
And the RPG landscape wasn't that great there in that era, I feel. So I really wanted to actually trade my PS5 for Series X when I first got the first one.
Mhm.
But I didn't because I had an Xbox One and I also had my PC. And with the whole Game Pass thing, I was like, I don't need a Series X because I can get all the new Series X games, or at least most of them, on Game Pass through my computer.
Mhm.
Well, while I can't get any of the games that come out for the PS5 for anything else, right? Um, that being said, so far there has been no games from the PS5 that have really, aside from Ghost of Tsushima, there has been, and Final Fantasy Seven remake.
Not a fan of God of War.
I'm a fan, but not a huge fan.
Okay.
I wasn't because I think that around when God of War first came out, I played the first game, the first God of War, and it was great, but I was like very very heavy into like the shooting genre and stuff. So I kind of stepped away a little bit from it, and I've heard amazing things from it. But God of War also just came out for PC, and apparently it looks way better and plays way better on PC than it does on the PS5.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's bad. That's
yeah.
bad.
Ooh.
Well, it's only because it's not, obviously it's not a remake and it's not reimagining, but the PC version has some updates to the game that the console version does not have.
It's not a good
So
way to sell your console, though.
right.
You know.
But now, in saying that, to answer your question, now that I actually, and to me, I was just like, well, I didn't really believe the hype in like the backwards compatibility games, like looking that much better on the Series X. Now that I actually tested it out with some of the older games, especially Metal Gear Solid 2, which doesn't hold up great when it comes to graphics. I love the graphics of the game. I always did. I thought that it had like a very special kind of style to the art, but they aren't super impressive, especially playing it on Xbox, which is actually updated graphics already for the Xbox One. It still wasn't beautiful, but on the Series X now, oh my goodness, it looks so good. It looks so good, so much better. And so that's kind of like that is my okay, yeah, get the Series X, because if it's going to make essentially an Xbox 360, this is an Xbox 360 game. If it's going to make an Xbox 360 game look 10 times better, then now your entire Xbox collection from the past is upgraded.
Okay.
So I can't
I
say the
was
same thing for
kinda-
PS5, because PS5 games, from what I understand, they don't really have like a graphical upscale on older games when you pop them in from the
If you
PS4
can-
for
if
the
you can even
PS4
play.
games. Yeah, for the PS4 games.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I don't know. Kind of sounds like PlayStation 360 in 2023.
I do have one more geek out though.
Go for it. I know.
It's
I
the
know.
other Green and Black, which is why I don't
Oh,
want
I
to talk about it.
completely forgot about this.
Because it's kind of forgettable.
Oh, come on, dude. It's not your geek out. What is wrong with you, man? Damn. My geek out.
Continue, please. Continue, please. You're wearing green today, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I am. I didn't realize. I have a lot of green stuff, so there's a lot of green and black and red in my wardrobe.
Okay.
All right, so I actually, I can't say that I absolutely 100% love episode 4, Book of Boba Fett. But I actually do really, really enjoy that. I did really enjoy that episode a lot. There's some things that I can nitpick that I didn't enjoy, but I enjoyed that episode a ton. And, we've already spoken about this. I don't think that it's fair to judge the show based on what everybody expected Boba Fett to be, because we already knew that it wasn't going to be the Mandalorian. Okay, so like if you're going in, I think that a lot of people are going into the show expecting it, having certain expectations of Boba Fett that were used to create the Mandalorian character. I knew that it wasn't going to be the Mandalorian. I knew that they were going to take it in a different direction. And you're looking at me in some weird way, but don't even come at me with this, because if you are logical about this, how wouldn't it have been ridiculous if we just get a Boba Fett that's basically the same thing as the Mandalorian?
No, I listen. I agree with you that it had to be different, but the problem is that they took Boba Fett's storyline and made it the Mandalorians. And so
right, exactly. So what are we supposed to do?
Problem. That's the biggest problem.
What am I supposed to do? Get completely upset like, oh, this isn't the show that I wanted? I can't. But the thing is, what I'm trying to say is, I am enjoying, for the most part, I'm enjoying the trajectory and the storyline that's being built. Okay, with the exception of episode 3, which I didn't love. There's many things that I hated about the episode. Outside of that, I love where it's going. I dig what everything's happening. All the little things that are being picked up. Yeah, go ahead, AJ.
So you loved when him and Fennec Shan ran around for 5 whole minutes clowning around after a little Disney droid?
It was a little bit of comic relief. I'm sorry, but we do get comic relief in shows.
That was such a Disney move. That was not even funny. You know what? That was
Stitch.
funny.
It looked
That
like
was
Stitch
funny.
from Lilo and Stitch, right?
All right, but see, here's the thing. Here's something that's lost. Here's something that's lost, I think, on a lot of people. You might be talking to what made that scene a little bit too comical in the moment was a scene where he grabbed the droid and asked him, like, "Do you know who I am?" Yes.
It's not even, no, it's not even that. It's the fact that he's looking around for why do you have Boba Fett playing Tom and Jerry with a droid? That to me seems so dumb and demeaning. I'm sorry.
I would. Why is it demeaning?
Okay. So get this. Once the most feared bounty hunter in all the galaxy, with all his tricks and his gadgets, the up-and-coming crime lord who bends to his lesser crime lord's wills and agendas, all that fluff, only for that fluff to completely evaporate when it comes to a little punk droid. This is basically
it's
the Sarlacc pit part 2.
Why? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So he looked like
my
such a clown.
Can I say this? And this is what I'm going to agree with you, Gabe, on one thing. I was enjoying episode 4. Right? I could get past the whole let's go after Lilo and Stitch droid, right? But there's a deeper thing to that. But there's 2 things that I have to say about this show so far. First of all, like I said, I was enjoying this show until the last 5 minutes of the show ruined the entire thing for me again.
Really?
Yes, and this is the reason why. And there's 2 things. I'm going to try and blend them as quickly as possible because I don't want to hijack your geek out, but I just want to explain to you the way that I feel, right? I don't like the fact that Fennec Shan in this particular episode seemed more capable than Boba Fett. Boba Fett kind of felt like he had no idea what he was doing, and Fennec Shan was the one running the show trying to get back to Fire Spray, which I hate the name, by the way, Fire Spray. It doesn't make any sense to me, but whatever. So there's that, because I think the roles should have been reversed. It should have been Boba Fett saying, you know what, this is how we're going to fix it, and Fennec Shand kind of following, except Fennec Shand looked 10 times smarter than Boba Fett in that particular moment, right? That's the first thing. The second thing, and again, I hated the fact that I was enjoying the show up until the last 5 minutes, because you had that the three families, I'm sorry, sitting around the table, and you have Boba Fett, who is supposed to be this crime lord, but what crime lord is he? He's a crime lord of nothing, because he goes from guys. No, let's hear me out. I know
I am hearing you out. Okay? I can nod my head.
No, that's fine. But he goes from I'm the daimyo, you've got to listen to me, to I'm the daimyo, I need your help, to I'm the daimyo, I'm going to take care of it, and you guys can leave. And that to me felt so demeaning to Boba Fett, the character.
That's the thing.
Moment.
That's the thing that you guys are missing out on so much, is that you're still stuck on the past character that Boba Fett is. Boba Fett is not the Mandalorian. He's not a feared bounty hunter, and he said it from the outset that he wants to rule with respect, not fear. So what is he trying to show? He's asking for help. They don't want to join them. Okay, so then he's just asking them to step aside while he earns their respect by doing this by himself. Yeah. That's what he's doing. Okay. Otherwise, he could have easily said, like, "Hey, listen, no, hold on." He could have easily has said, "You guys either follow me, or I'm throwing you to the Rancor right now." But he didn't, because he's not trying to be Jabba the Hutt.
That is,
but he's not trying to
opportunity there, because you know what, you have the opportunity to have you have a Rancor,
right? Exactly, right? And they showed it because it's to show that he has a Rancor that everyone would be afraid of. He has the ability to just throw you down there, and he showed it off. Okay, but he's showing that while I could use this element to instill fear in you, I'm not going to do that, and that's what he did in that moment. But you got to kind of give the show a chance to allow you to.
I have been.
I'm saying, hold on, not just give it a chance. What I'm saying is, give the show a chance to let them tell the story of Boba trying to be this, crime lord that's trying to rule with respect. I think everybody's like, oh, like feared. He's the most feared. He's the most feared. Yeah, he was the most feared. But another element that we got just in this episode is that only up until that point in this episode did we see that he was so damaged from the Sarlacc pit that he only just finished fully recovering.
And that's my third point right there, because the fact that he's no longer going to be in that back tank means that that's basically the end of the flashbacks. And the flashbacks was the thing that I was enjoying about the show the most.
I don't think that that's true. I don't think that that's true, because he's dreaming. He's dreaming in his sleep. He doesn't only sleep in the back of the tank. I don't think that that's just completely out of the picture.
But there's no other story to tell from the flashbacks.
And that's true. There really isn't too much more. There really isn't too much more. But now we can focus on we're at the start. We're at the point where the real story starts, because we just got his motivations. We just got the reason why he's doing the things that he's doing, and we're right about to hit the actual main incident of the show, which is the oncoming crime war.
So, an oncoming crime war against the Pikes, where he literally has a bunch of modded bikers and a Wookiee.
Not just a Wookiee.
No, I know, but the
let's not forget about how the episode ended. Let's not forget about how the episode ended.
Mando's coming back. Yeah. We know. But so let me ask you this: what's the end game for this show?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't know, and that's a good thing, though. That's a good thing that we can't predict what's happening.
Are we expecting Boba Fett to be sitting on this throne of flowers and unicorns and stuff because everybody respects him? I mean, honestly, do you really think that a gang lord is looking for respect. I mean, it doesn't
Yeah,
seem like
it happened in
those
The
particular,
Godfather. It
but
happened
it
in The
doesn't.
Godfather, for
But it
example.
doesn't. It doesn't. I don't get the sense that there any honor among thieves between these families here. Like
Maybe not yet.
I
Maybe
don't
not.
think
But
they give
it's
a
just
crap. You know what I'm
we
saying?
don't know that because we got to let them tell the story. This
Okay.
is essentially the same thing that happened in The Godfather. When just to go back to that first movie, when the attempt on his life was made, what did he do? He didn't retaliate because he doesn't want to rule with fear. He wants to rule with respect. Okay, and he got the respect of the family. Same thing, and all he asks is no drugs on the street. That's it, because he wants to rule respect. So, is it that far fetched that a crime lord that wants to rule respect over fear?
But see, that's kind of the thing, though.
That
The father, what was his name?
Who?
The father Corleone. What's his name?
Don Corleone.
Don Corleone.
Okay, so no, like Michael. Okay,
Yeah, his. I
It's
forget what his name was.
it's
all right. Well, Don
yeah,
Corleone.
It's not
yeah.
Vincente or something. I don't know.
Don Corleone. What happened to him in the end?
He passed away.
Yeah, like I'm sorry to say, but with the changing times, at the end of the day, he was not a
It doesn't matter.
successful crime lord.
He absolutely was a successful crime lord. He built the most
Not
respected crime
towards the
family.
end.
You
Not
think that
towards the
Al
end.
Pacino, Michael inherited a poor and unrespected crime family?
No, what
But-
I'm saying is, as a leader, he was undone.
And I think
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I think you're forgetting one big scene, which is the scene that I pointed out to you guys that it was probably one of the most amazing scenes in The Godfather. And you say
Mhm.
that, Michael ruled with respect. After the attempt on Don Corleone's life, what happened? He killed every one of the heads of the five families.
Absolutely.
So there was retaliation that put everybody back into
Right,
line.
but
That's
Walter,
not
but hold on,
respect.
Walter
was
though.
not
No, I
respect,
understand
though.
that. His dad, so Michael's father wanted to rule respect. Michael chose to rule with fear. Okay, we all
And he
know.
was-
If hold on, if you
Yes,
you
go
haven't
ahead.
seen the other two movies, but if you've seen the other two movies, he tried to rule with fear, and what did he do? At the end, he lost everything.
Well, but you know what? That's just the tragedy of a character.
Absolutely, and I understand that. I understand that. But what I'm trying to
you're
say is that,
seeing-
there's nothing wrong with telling the story of Boba Fett trying to rule with respect.
And I totally agree with that. But like I said, I have a fundamental problem with how that last scene ended up, because he was basically begging these guys. His first instinct was, guys, I'm the Daimo. You got to listen to me. And they were like, nah, I don't think so. Guys, I'm the Daimo. At least just help me out. Nah, I don't think so either.
That's
Guys,
just how you
I'm the
interpret it,
Daimo.
because he's not trying out. That's not his, because
In that moment, he looked
he didn't
weak.
look desperate. He didn't look weak.
looked
He
weak.
did not look weak at all.
I'm
How did he
sorry,
look
that
weak?
was weak.
He was
He's
not
playing
weak.
yes man to other crime lords.
He's not playing
supposed to
yes
be in
man to them.
charge of.
He's not supposed to be in charge of them. They have their families and their territories. He's not supposed to be in charge of them. Okay, Jabba the Hutt wasn't in charge of them either.
Yes, he was.
Yes,
he was. If you remember, the only reason that they took control is because Bib Fortuna
Right. Actually, you're right.
could
You're
not
right.
handle them.
You're right.
Jabba
That's absolutely
had them
true.
in line.
Okay,
So-
but that doesn't mean that that doesn't mean that Boba Fett automatically owns them, though.
But
That's
if you're
true,
gonna be the
but-
Daimo, and if you're gonna make a claim for that title, that kind of comes.
No, it doesn't.
Be a
No, it
godfather
doesn't.
and not be a godfather. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he's got to earn that first. He wants to do it with respect.
He's Boba freaking Fett. I think his reputation.
We already spoke about that.
Well,
Not
the
as
one
a
thing.
crime lord.
Hold
He's
on.
not a
Not as a
The one.
lord.
The one thing I'm
Right,
gonna
but he's
say
not a crime lord.
is
He
that
was a
He was a bounty hunter. That doesn't necessarily
No,
translate to
I
crime lord.
understand that, but there has to be a measure of fear and respect because he was, and correct me
There
if I'm
will
wrong,
be.
the most feared bounty hunter in the galaxy. That was his title. I'm
Yes,
not
but that
making it
doesn't
up.
make him the most feared crime lord. He has to earn that. We're gonna get that story. We're gonna get that story of him showing what he can do, so that now they have to respect him because of what he's done, how he took on this war.
I'm rooting for you,
Now,
man. I'm
now the
rooting for
thing,
you.
but see, this is the thing. Like, if you're already like, oh, like he's so weak and he's like not feared, without like waiting for him to show us why he should be feared by all the other families, then like that's what I'm saying. Wait till the book is done. Wait till you finish reading all the pages. Okay, just
Yeah, but
chillax. Just chillax.
let me ask you a question. If a book is, and we're going to use the metaphor of this series
Hmm.
being a book, right?
Right.
If the book isn't landing with you and you're already in the middle of a book, are you really going to continue? And I think that's the problem that we're having with the show is that it,
I understand.
you
I
know what I'm
understand.
saying?
Right.
If
But
you're
I think that
building
this
to
is
that
I.
point, give me something that'll keep me engaged in this, and I haven't
But
had that yet.
right, but I just feel like too many people want to be engaged on a show that they were expecting to, like, just the fact that you keep bringing it back to he was the most feared bounty hunter. He's not a bounty hunter anymore because
I
you
know.
hold on, because you keep
Mhm.
calling back to that. You're just kind of reminding yourself of what he should have been, and that's the expectation that you have for the show. If you
So
forget about what he should have been and you just, you know, digest the show singularly, imagining that Boba Fett never existed. Okay, there's a good story there,
okay, I'm gonna say one more thing, and then
and then
I'm
we got to
gonna
move on because
yeah.
you got to say your piece
and
too.
and I don't want to sound like I'm piling on you because I'm really not. You know what I'm saying? I really do want to. I keep saying this
Oh, it's
because
all good.
I
Listen,
want you to
Us Boba
understand,
Fett
right?
fans have been this like minority part of the fandom since the existence of Star Wars, or at least since the existence of Starlight Pits,
Yeah.
where the entire fandom is like, "Oh, you're ridiculous! I can't believe you really think that Boba Fett's alive." Yeah, he's alive. You know, been defending him for like since I first saw Star Wars.
I know. But here's my last point on this, and I swear I'm not going to talk about this ever again until
No,
the very end of the
we can talk
series, right?
Boba Fett forever.
Okay. But here's the thing, and I think this is why a lot of people are kind of like, what is going on with the show? Because you're saying that he wants to be a kindler, gentler Boba Fett, right? And you had the events of Return of the Jedi happen, right?
Hmm.
And instantly we go to the very first episode where he comes out of the Sarlacc pit, right?
Hmm.
Which is a momentous moment for Boba Fett fans everywhere, right?
Hmm.
What was it that caused him to turn on a dime in
He said
terms
it in
of
the show.
how he was going to be this new
Well,
Boba Fett?
He
Because
explained it on the show.
I can speak to that.
okay, but my point is this. But you got it what in like the fourth episode or something like that,
Right.
Yeah,
right?
you did.
But here's the thing: you go from being this complete badass, and again, I know you're saying, well,
Hmm.
that's was him back then, but it is now. But he went from being this complete badass and being in the Sarlacc pit and coming out, and the instant that he comes out, it wasn't that is a
Hmm.
fundamental character change that for most people it takes time to cultivate. The instant that he comes out of the Sarlacc pit, he's like, I'm a changed man.
No,
Well,
no. The instant that he came out, he was
He
taken by the Raiders as prisoner, okay, made a slave, and then when they accepted him, it's over that
he
time.
never
It's over that time.
never he never
well, I
had any
mean,
fight in him to try to subvert that.
well,
Are you
It
kidding
was
me? The very first fight that
he
he had
did
was him
try
trying to
to
get away.
escape, but here's what I'm gonna say to that. Boba Fett's been bounty hunting what since the Empire practically began, and it's like he said. Uh, sure, scuzzbags are the easiest money, but they're also the most unreliable money. And I think that came to a peak when he got
Sarlacc pit.
punked into the Sarlacc pit. Like, I think that was what broke the straw on his back, and he said, "You know what?
That too.
Bounty hunting is not for me.
He had a
If I'm
life-changing
going to
moment.
get punted into a Sarlacc pit every time I get hired by a Jabba the Hutt, I don't want to be in a Sarlacc pit anymore. Every single time I get punted into a Sarlacc pit."
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Like I said, that was the thing that was bothering me. But if you put it that way, that does make a little sense, you know.
But that's and that's the thing that like that I think that if you watch it through that lens, it's easy. They've been kind of telling you this from the very beginning, you know. They've been telling you he got accepted into this family. The family that he tried to run away from and fight, okay, as part of his escape, then accepted him, and he wanted to return the favor for accepting him, and then they transformed him, okay, and that transformation is obviously what's given him the reason for this newfound path. And then we got it confirmed in the 4th episode, not just because of like, oh well, I want to do it for the Tusken Raiders. It's because he, for the very first time, felt part of a tribe and realized that he would be stronger with a family than on his own. He would be stronger as part of a crew than as a solo bounty hunter. And that's kind of been there since the beginning,
Okay. Like I said, I'm rooting for you, man. I really, really am. Right here.
That being said, I wasn't intending to make this a Boba Fett episode. I really apologize to the fans if you guys do not want to hear anything Boba Fett. We will not talk Boba Fett until the show is over. How about that? Until episode 7.
Yeah,
no. I will make hand over heart. I will not speak Boba Fett on another podcast until the end of the show. Okay. That being said, let me hand it off to. You want me to write this down?
I am writing this down right now.
You can record the screen. Look, my hand is on the heart right here. Yep. We have an actual audio record that's going to go live on.
It is 9:29, Saturday, January 22nd. The 49ers are on the Green Bay 9-yard line. It is 7-0 Green Bay. And to top it all off, yes, sirree, Gabe has said he will not talk about Boba Fett until the series finale.
Yep.
You heard it here first.
Hand over heart.
Heard it here first.
Hand over heart. Walt, please.
All right.
Take it away and finish with
I don't know if anything I'm going to say is going to live up to all of that stuff right now.
I still want to know what you're geeking out over.
Well, I'm going to say this. My geek outs are a little bit old because, quite frankly, this past week has been a little bit tough for us. But AJ's going to help me out with this because, it's going to be kind of like a tandem geek out. What should we do first? I think we should do the older thing first, right?
The Witcher.
Witcher season 2. And we also have to talk about Nightmare of the Wolf. Because that is big time connected to Caesar. Look at this. I'm losing my mind. Witcher season 2.
Okay.
So Nightmare of the Wolf, and I'm surprised. Are you watching The Witcher, by the way?
Not the second season. I have not seen the second season.
Okay.
I'm binging something else that's way sappier, and I will not speak of on this podcast ever.
Please.
What? No, continue. It's your turn. It's your turn.
No, I'm
No.
You cannot drop something like that and just walk away from it. We're not judging here. We're not judging here. What is it this sappy thing that you're watching? What is this sappy thing that you're watching? Listen, I've done it myself.
It's on Netflix. It's a show on Netflix. It's Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha.
Is it called You by any chance?
What?
Was it called You by any chance?
No, I've been.
Awesome.
I didn't finish You.
Which one is it?
Oh no, Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha.
Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha? What is that? I have actually never heard of it. What is that?
It's a
Listen, dude, I've done Bridget
all right,
Jones'
listen to me.
Diary.
Listen to me, all
I've
right?
done Bridget Jones' Diary.
Listen, I'm gonna give you guys a quick rundown of the show with a little mini review. It is a show of epic proportions. All right, guys. All right, it's like a romantic comedy series, Korean drama series that I got into recently. A friend recommended it, and
Listen, those Korean shows on Netflix are awesome.
Man,
They really are.
Listen, it's a 10 out of 10 for me, and I still got one more episode to go. It's an absolutely amazing show. If anybody likes lightheartedness as well as really, really deep character development. So,
okay. Hometown Cha-Cha.
Don't look at any trailers right now.
I gotta look at it. I gotta
oh God, go really finish your geek out. What are you doing?
Listen, Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha. How can we not speak about that,
dude?
That is freaking awesome.
Oh my God,
I love it just for the name. Just for the name. You know,
it's about the story of this dentist that she goes to a small town to find herself, and
as people are wont to do,
and she decides to open up a dentist office, a dental clinic there, and there is a fellow there that is very, very annoying to her, that he finds very annoying to him too, and it's the story about their relationship. And I'm not going to say anything more.
They have great teeth, right?
Oh yeah! Oh my God! Yes, absolutely. I mean, the Koreans. Okay. Whoa.
There you go. All right, Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha. We're gonna watch.
Can we cut? Let's cut that part out. Let's no. Let's just cut this part out, and we can maybe save it for like a rainy day.
The Cha-Cha-Cha. The home, the town, the Cha-Cha-Cha.
Oh my God! The 49ers did not convert.
Really?
Yeah.
I got so focused on Hometown.
All right.
So,
let's back to your geek out. Come on.
So you're not caught up with season 2. Do you know anything about
I don't know anything, but you can spoil everything.
I really think you should watch, but that's.
I know I'm going to. It's just I'm not so invested in The Witcher that I'll avoid spoilers.
Okay, you're missing out on something because season 2 is probably 10 times better than the first season.
10 times better. I mean,
it's really
good. It's not like the first season was bad. I love the first season.
Did you watch Nightmare of the Wolf and Me?
I accidentally didn't get around to it.
So, do you know what, Gabe? Do you know what Nightmare of the Wolf is?
No.
It is the Witcher anime.
Oh.
Which is trending right now. 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
So it is the backstory of Vesemir, and it's kind of there is some. It's mainly about Vesemir, who is a huge influence on season 2 because he is the guy that basically trains Geralt on how to be a Witcher. He brings them in and all that stuff. And at the very end of that anime, you do see him hooking up with Geralt as a very, very small child.
You want to know what it is about The Witcher? It's that I know it's good. It has all the elements that I love. I'm still Game of Thrones out as far as like the theme, like the era, the magic and the sword fighting and all that stuff. Like I'm still a little bit believe it or not, just still big Game of Thrones out.
Well, the thing that for me kind of differentiates The Witcher from Game of Thrones is the fact that they do kind of rely on pre-existing lore that exists right now. A lot of the
I understand that.
The monsters and the lore. Yeah, it's based on the games and the lore, and that makes it fascinating. Season 2 is really cool because we actually go back to K.R. Morhen, which is the place where the Witchers are witched, I guess, if that's
Bewitched.
a word,
They're
right?
bewitched.
And we continue to follow Siri on her journey. And I'm not going to spoil it, because if you're going to watch it, I'd rather you get what's going on in.
Okay.
But
I will watch it. I will definitely watch it.
You should, because you know what, like I said, you get away from that season 1 mechanic of different timelines and you're not knowing exactly where you are.
Yeah.
It's all present time. I think there are some flashbacks, but it's not as heavy-handed
It's
as
not
they
as
did in the
jarring.
first.
Yeah,
Right,
the first
exactly.
season was kind of jarring, Yeah.
Yeah, because you never knew what time period you were, and you didn't
Yeah,
figure
if I
that
looked
out
down at my
until,
phone
like,
and I looked
halfway.
up, if I looked down at my phone and then looked up, there was no way to tell whether I'm seeing a flashback or not.
Yeah. So, but like I said, it has gotten infinitely better. There is another
Okay.
great song by what's
God.
his name? Gusker? No,
I
I forgot the bard.
Oh,
I forgot the bard's
God.
name, but whatever. But like I said,
Jaskier.
Jaskier. Thank you very much. But it's really good, and you get that big reveal at the very end of
About
Siri's
the prequel,
lineage.
right? Yeah. Oh.
No, this is season 2 now. We're on to season 2. We get a very big reveal about the lineage of Siri and where she's from and whose blood is coursing through her veins and things of that. And then there's
Okay.
the witch that
Yennefer of Vengerberg.
No, the witch. Maybe we're talking too much. The witch in the woods in the cabin.
Oh, the witch in the hut witch. Oh God,
Yeah.
I forgot.
Volethmir, right? And they heavily tease the wild hunt, which they've kind of been doing since season 1.
Yeah.
But this one,
I remember
we
that.
actually do see the wild hunt, right?
Yep.
At one point. The group of characters. And I think the exciting part is that the producer has said season 3 is going to be huge.
So I know that there's a ton of fanfare for the second season, especially with the big reveal at the very end of a prequel season that's kind of coming out, right? Or is it a separate series that's coming out?
It's a separate
Or is it
series.
just it's a separate series, right?
Remember the cutscene thing at the end
Yeah, where they show basically it's a prequel.
with elves? It's a prequel series.
Yes. There is that. I completely forgot about that. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I mean they're basically.
Elf with a hammer.
You know what? I have a theory on this. I have a theory about this. They're doing like a prequel series. They probably got like a lot of backlash for how they were doing the flashbacks in the first season. They're like, all right, instead of a flashback, let's not do that many flashbacks in season 2. Let's just do a whole nother prequel series along with it.
Probably a good choice, though.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I know that there's a ton of fanfare over it. I didn't know. I feel like maybe I saw a clip of the anime. It just kind of flew over my head. But really interested in. Do I need to see the second season to see the animated movie? It's a movie or a show?
You need to see the animated first to see the second season.
So it'll go. Yeah. It goes season 1, anime season 2, because the anime gives you the backstory of Vesemir, who plays an important part in season 2, and it leads to just watch it and you'll understand.
I will.
It's a short. It's what, an hour and 20 minutes. It's not that long of an anime to watch. And
no, it's all good. I mean, I'm used to those episodes, because one thing I'll say about Hometown Cha 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 is that it's 16 episodes, but every episode is about an hour and 20 minutes. Oh, wow. So it's almost like watching. It's almost like watching basically like a movie for each episode, but it does a really good job of making you want to. It basically makes you want to watch another. Like, they do a really good job of making you hit next. So, yeah.
For a guy who didn't want to reveal that he wanted to talk about Hometown.
Well, since it's out there already, jeez, God. Anyway,
so. All right, so there's that. So, that's one thing that I've been kind of geeking out, although I geeked out about that maybe a couple of weeks ago, right? The other thing that we geeked out yesterday is Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yes, there we go.
Which was very, very. I actually enjoyed the heck out of that thing, right?
Yes,
And I don't understand why there's like a lot of
because a lot of
venom against it.
I don't. I think it's one of those things where it feels too much like the old ones that people think it's like oh well, it's basically just the first one again. Who cares? But
But that's interesting because
so.
everybody hated the previous attempt at remaking it because they're like, oh, you're trying to be too new age. Pick one, people. Pick one.
Yeah,
exactly.
I actually enjoyed it.
It looked really good. I still haven't seen it, but I still really, really want to watch that movie. The trailer looked awesome. It looked fun.
Good.
Yeah, I really, really want to see it.
You know what it felt like at the beginning? It felt a little bit like Force Awakens, and mind you, this is the reason why, and it's not a negative or anything, but in terms of the story, a lot of people either don't know about what happened in New York with the Ghostbusters or have forgotten because it takes place 35, 40 years,
like 20-ish years.
Yeah, so
it's kind of like it is kind of like Force Awakens is like that, right? Where like we have all this stuff that happened in essentially Return of the Jedi, and then in Force Awakens, people believe in the Jedis even less.
Right, they think it's a myth.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Boggles my mind still to this day.
Yeah, and so I think it's funny because the way they show it, the main cast is a bunch of kids. Okay, so this is like the next generation of Ghostbusters, and to be honest, the Ghostbusters happened pre-YouTube, so in their minds, it's like, well, if it's not on YouTube, it doesn't exist, right? And so it's.
But they're missing out on some comedy gold with Aykroyd and Bill Murray. Oh man, I love Ghostbusters.
Well, no, that's within the show itself. The people don't realize that Ghostbusters actually happened.
Oh, in the show. Oh,
right. Within the movie itself, the thing that happened in New York, it's like that was actually a thing. Was that real? It's like
it's like, real quick though. It's funny. It's funny that you say that happens in the film because it actually happens in real life. To be honest, when I'm watching, when I even further than that, right? Like, so I'm watching Mindhunters and I finished watching Mindhunters, and like these are like real serial killers that happened in the US and stuff like that, and these super heinous crimes. And now, because I didn't live in that era or even close to that era, I have never even heard of a single one of these things, like the Atlanta child murders. That is insane what happened, but like it doesn't register even a blip in the social media age until Mindhunters.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And so that's what's kind of happening. Yeah, so that's what's kind of happening in the movie. Either they don't know about the Ghostbusters and what happened in New York in that first movie, or B, they know about it, but they're like, nah, that's not real. That's just like, it's like a myth or whatever, right? And so they play on that, which is really, really interesting. And there's this kid, and he's probably my favorite character in the entire movie.
Of course.
And it's relevant because the kid is named Podcast because he has a podcast.
Oh, my goodness. Way to be relevant to the times.
But that kid is amazing. As an actor, the way he did that character, he just killed it. He was probably one of the. So I really,
Walt Jr.
recommend. Yeah, well, I don't know about that, but he was really, really good. And like I said, the movie is good. And yes, there is a lot of elements of the first movie, but I think the last part of the movie was really cool. The way they kind of wrap things up, and there was an emotional tilt to that, right?
Yeah.
Especially with the way that they sent off Harold Ramis and the way they treated the character, and I thought it was very tastefully done the way they did it. So yeah, if you guys even remotely like the first Ghostbusters or you really probably should check this one out because
Yeah.
I had a really fun time watching it.
I'm surprised you didn't pick out J.K. Simmons.
Well, you know what? The reason why is where we saw it because, we saw it here, not at home.
Yeah.
And so there was a light that was blinding most of the screen. And I think
even I saw it.
Yeah, but I think your angle was a little bit better. And so that's why I didn't see it. But J.K. Simmons is in it.
Eli saw it.
Olivia Wilde is in it. Although
I love Olivia Wilde.
Well, she's uncredited.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
she's there. But
I really like Olivia Wilde.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely, you should definitely check it out.
Okay. I will.
Cool. So I think that brings us to the end of this very entertaining podcast.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So you know what we didn't say at the very beginning?
What?
Guys, you gotta check out, rate.
Oh yeah, please like
this
rate, review, subscribe, all that stuff.
We dropped the ball on that one.
We did drop the ball on that one, but if you've made it this far, then we can still save ourselves. Help us make up for it by, tagging someone in our post or sending this as a link to someone that you think that would really enjoy the conversation. Help us catch up to what we missed out at the beginning of the episode. Please, 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 please. I am on my knees.
Definitely.
Once again, hand over heart, begging you to please send this episode to someone and help us grow our little podcast over here.
Okie dokie. So, on that note,
stay geeky, my friends. What?
I'm trying to stay away from this. I'm not gonna do it. Yes, stay geeky, my friends. We're gonna steal the line from Jose. Stay geeky, my friends, because that's what we do here on the Get Geek podcast, and that's what we've done with this Geek Out episode. So
do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
All right,
now.
people.
All right. Peace.
Later.
Later.
Hello.
Goodbye.